Been a long day for me, but that long day allowed me to do a couple of different things that I can now showcase to you. I made an order at my local champion store to be able to pick up a couple of things. We're not going to go through every single thing, but what we will go through is the important stuff. So the first thing I did was I picked up a Main Street versus Machina, Machina, whatever you want to call, Clash kit. I needed the extra Mean Streak stuff. And then I picked up a Pestilence versus War set 4 Clash kit. Just needed to show you guys those for tax purposes. Lots of fun stuff. But the big reason big order I made at my champion store was this fantastic order of not one, but 2 boxes of Spoils of the Forgotten. And then I said to myself, well, what if I wanted more? Well, I managed to purchase myself a full sealed case from Team Covenant for a very nice price. I was able to test out their new payment system, which was awesome and cool to do. So we're not going to open just 2 boxes. We're going to open 8 boxes of Spoils of the Forgotten. And that should be super fun. Lots of cool things to do. So I'm going to hit this top down and we're going to have a lot of fun. But before that, HARK, it's Alpha Clash time. So let's get to cracking. I've got my full allotment preset and ready to go. We're going to start with my 2 boxes that I purchased from my local champion store. Spoils of the Forgotten is a very fun set. It's basically a micro set, but it's also a tournament pack. Lots of cool things come out of here for PvP and PvE. We're going to go ahead and, oh, that fell apart. Dump this over here. Now, the one issue that I have with this set is, 2 issues technically, but one issue we're going to talk about. It's very difficult to open these without technically damaging the packs or the cards. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use this pair of scissors here. We're going to cut the top part of this off and then we're going to pull it out. I'm not going to do any specific organizational stuff today. I'm not even going to sleeve the epics or foils or anything like that. We're just going to go through these and try to get them done. So our first pack here, we have a lot of these. So once we get to a certain point, we're going to actually just skip through a lot of the commons and uncommons. So we've got Locked In Lynn here. We have Haven, which is a pretty cool. This one creates one of the new streak counters. We've got Scrapyard, which is a fun clash ground here. That's pretty good for anybody that wants to use non-trap accessories. We have a foil Cherry Bomb here, a foil common living detonator. And then we have our first epic, which is Torque Letting It Fly. So that's pretty cool. 4 cost, 4/5 trigger enter. If an opponent's resource total exceeds yours by 2 or more, you can send target resource they control to oblivion. So if your opponent's ramping, Torque can go, nah, dog. And that's a great first epic to start with. Legendary wise, I do want Alpha Empowerment. That one might be something I have to shell out for individually because these are seem to be difficult hits. So our first card here is that Streak counter. These are being generated by various different cards. It's a 0/1 token with interception, and the attack and defense cannot be modified and cards can't be attached to it because it itself is an attachment. Not literally, but effectively. We've got Discarded Mob, new card here for blue discarded. We have Paul here, who is one of the new black Alpha Hunter cards. The first time a card you control obstructs each turn, target contender gains 2 health. So that's actually pretty good for PvE as well. We have Foil Manhattan. This one's 1 cost counterplay. You may send this Clash Ground to Oblivion. If you do, target weapon you control gets safeguard until end of turn so you can protect your weapons. And then we have a Foil Paul. So 2 rares in that pack, which is quite nice. It's a little bit harder when I have to cut them to try to maintain some time here. We have Warcry Heightened Senses with 3 cost, 2 specific flight, restore 1, and a 1/3. So that's a pretty good body. We have Cowling Searching here, trigger enter, flip target face down card you don't control. If that is a clash card, this card gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If it is a non-clash card, you may discard a card. If you do, send that card to Oblivion. We have Streaks Assembling. This is a trap accessory for Mean Streak or basically anybody who's blue. Counter attack, remove 2 streak counters. So you are running this in Mean Streak. Remove 2 streak counters from among clash cards you control. For each counter removed this way, create a 0/1 blue streak clash token with all the different texts. So you can get yourself some extra defenders when your opponent attacks. We got a foil Streak. We take those. And we have a foil Weber Firing. This is a fun card. This is actually technically an additional clash buff without being a clash buff. So it's a 1 cost 1/1, but a counter attack, you can discard this card from your hand. If you do, target Alpha Hunter Clash card you control gets +1/+2 until the end of this clash. So, and it doesn't specifically say clash card, so this can be targeting your contender. Keep that in mind. It does have to be a card you control, though. Moving on, we've got another Living Detonator Cherry Bomb. We have Cherry Bomb Unimpressed, 5 cost, 5 specified, big red. This card costs 1 red less for each Nova accessory token you control. You may only play 1 Cherry Bomb Unimpressed each turn. So if you've got 5 Nova tokens. She is free and it's a 4/3. That's pretty cool for the Nova deck. We got Ramirez. I like this card a lot. 3 cost, 2 black specified. Trigger enter, flip target face down card an opponent controls. If that is clash card, it's a clash card. You may engage this card. If you do, target player may draw a card. So target player, great PvE card. Target defeat, clash card you control get +1/+1 until the end of turn, and it is a 2/3. Not a lot of green. We have Shadowlight Chasing Shadows. I've talked about this card before. And then we have a foil Ramirez. Yeah, 2 rares in that pack. Nice. I think that puts me at a full play set for Ramirez, so I'm pretty happy there. Got to figure out exactly how I want to put that together. We got Shadowlight Chasing Shadows. Almost got a play set here for that one. Here we go. 3 cost Magnate. Need 2 more of these and 3 more of the 5 cost one. So he's a 3 cost, 3 green specified. Trigger attack. You may put a Magnate Clash card with an initial resource cost less than or equal to the number of resources you control from your Oblivion on top of your deck. And then during your primary phase, if this card did not enter play this turn, you may engage this card or pay 3 resources. If you do, put a Magnate Clash card with initial resource cost of 6 or less from your hand into play, then put this card into Oblivion. So you can potentially attack with this to put something on top of your deck to draw for a future turn, or you can choose to basically put the 6 cost or less Magnate into play, send this to your Oblivion, or even just keep this on the board to attack and then just pay 3 to bring in something that's 6 or less, which is still pretty good. And then here we go. This is the card you kind of want to bring in. This is the 5 cost Magnate with 4 green specified. Magnate Breaking Through. While you control Clash Ground, this card gets Breakthrough. When this card deals clash damage to a contender, put target Magnate Clash card in your Oblivion on top of your deck. During your primary phase, if target opponent controls more resources than you, and this card did not enter play this turn, you may engage this card or pay 3 resources. If you do, put a Magnate Clash card with initial resource cost of 8 or less from your hand into play, then put this card into your Oblivion. This is also a 5/4. The previous one was 3/3. So you can't do it the turn they come into play, so you can't just daisy chain your way into a super 8 cost or less, but it is still pretty cool. We've got Dr. Sommers. 1 cost, 3/1. This card can only attack clash cards, so it's a decent clash card clearer. Ooh, we have an epic here, Position to Power. This is one of the cards I definitely want to look at that foiling on that. Such good card, such good art. 2 cost, 2 green specified. If your contender is Magnate, which mine generally is, target alpha card you control gets +1/+0 and trigger victory. Target opponent discards a card until end of turn. Send target clash card with attack power of 3 or less to Oblivion. So as a basic action, you give one of your Magnates, you give one of your alphas +1/+0 and the trigger victory, and then you get to send a target clash card with 3 or less power to your the Oblivion. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be your opponents, but you probably don't want to do anything other than your opponents. But this is really good because that Magnate Indomitable Will gets an extra bonus based upon that targeting him, which is quite good. I think that might be one of the PvE decks I build just to try to help with like a powerhouse attack style deck. I think we've seen most of the main cards, so we'll try to speed through this as best we can. We've got Manhattan After the Clash. We've got Torque Enraged Alpha, so 4 cost, 3 red specified, enraged 3, 2 power, 3 health. So I believe the Enrage is, it takes non-clash damage. He gains 3 power, the number on Enrage here. So we've got Lamonti Mocking. There's a lot of text on this card. This card cannot obstruct. It's 2 cost, 1 green specified, 2/1. Trigger enter, choose a number. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You may reveal a weapon with initial resource cost equal to the number chosen. If you do, add it to your hand and put the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. Trigger defeat. You may attach target weapon you control to a clash card you control without paying its attach cost. If you do, deal 2 damage to your contender. So it gets you a weapon, and then you could attach said weapon if it comes out later once this is defeated and he is a rogue. We've got Avenging Guy with Cosplay. 3 cost, 2 green specified. This card gets +1/+1 for each card attached to your contender. 2/3 Rogue. This is very good in Avenging Guy, obviously, because he wants to attach a couple of cards. But this is also pretty good in Koggin, because you can have up to 4 cards attached to Koggin, which means he ends up being a 4/7, I want to say. I think that is correct. And then we have a foil Lamont Mocking. I don't know that that's supposed to happen, where you get the rare and then that same rare in foil in the pack, but I'm not going to complain about it. Speaking of not complaining about it, here we have another Avenging Guy with Cosplay. Then we have Thowling Searching, Shadowlight Ready for Action. This is the white Shadowlight, so when you discard this to pay for the black's cost, you can pay a black and a white, and then this will come into play instead, which is quite cool. We have a foil Warcry here, and a foil Discarded Mob. So I want to actually try to put a Shadowlight deck together at some point in time, because I have some of it, but I think that combo would be pretty cool to play. Speaking of, Here is the Chasing Shadows Shadowlight Black. We have another Weber. We have another Magnate Breaking Through. We have a foil Dr. Sommers and a foil Magnate Breaking Through. I definitely will need all the Magnates foil, so that's a great card for me to be able to pull. Again, regular rare and foil rare, so not complaining, especially if that ends up being what I'm getting. Avenging Guy with Cosplay. We have another Magnate. Cool, need one more of those. We have Shadowlight ready for action, a foil Warcry Heightened Sentence, and now we have Torsion to Absorption. This is a 2-cost, 2-red specified cost. If your contender is Torque, Alpha Clash cards you control get enraged 1 until end of turn. Deal 1 damage to up to 3 target Clash cards. This is a basic action. It's another one of our epics. So this really does build into Torque's ability to give your cards enrage, deal damage to them, and have a huge damage turn after that. There was something revealed fairly recently, the new champion decks. This is a great card to augment one of those champion decks, the Death one, because it has a lot of those Torque tools. You wouldn't put this with Death as your contender. You would swap the contender over to Torque and go more red with that, but that is a great starting point for a Torque deck because it comes with a lot of the high-powered cards that you need to begin with. So check your champion stores for those. Great deal, absolutely incredible product. Represents 2 of some of the amazing members of this community that I've been able to meet personally. Really fun products there. Rising Empire Studios is just doing stuff on another level. So Dr. Sommers here. Sowling Searching. We have a Fear Eater here. This one is a 5-cost, 2-blue specified, discarded 4/4. Trigger, enter, each player diminishes 2 cards. Trigger attack. Put up to 3 cards in target opponent's Oblivion on the bottom of their deck. If there are no cards in that player's Oblivion, this card gets +X until the end of turn, where X is the number of cards that are put onto the bottom of the deck in that way. If you control no other Clash cards, draw a card. So this is ideally trying to put stuff in your opponent's trash, and then when attacking, taking that stuff and putting it at the bottom of their deck so you can get extra power for attacking with this Fear Eater. We have another Lyn locked in, and then we have Soldier to Leader, another epic here. This is a 2 black specified cost card. If your contender is Moxie, target Alpha Hunter card you control gets +1/+0 for each weapon attached to it until the end of the turn. Target Alpha Hunter Clash card you control with a weapon attached gets Barrage 2 until end of turn as a basic action. So that's pretty cool. Barrage 2, I believe, is when it attacks, it deals its damage up to 2. I'll have text on the screen for the actual rule for Barrage, but it's good. Barrage is a good rule. We have here Warcry Heightened Senses, another Haven. We have a Streaks Assembling, a foil Streak, and a foil Shadowlight ready for action. Looks like we front-loaded most of the good cards that we were getting. Maybe we can pull a legendary here, pull one of those alpha empowerments, which are gonna be pretty expensive because they are very good cards. We have Cherry Bomb, Living Detonator, Discarded Mob, Ramirez, Sowling Searching, and then, we have the IR Mean Streak boosted, which is pretty cool here. So this is these starter 2 thing that I actually bought another one of these for, not specifically for the contender, but so that I could have the extra starter cards and some of the extra cards that come with it to build a Mean Streak deck. Mean Streak is the other PvE deck that I'm considering playing. So now I have a fancy new IR that I can potentially use. Spoilers, that won't be the one I use if I use it. So, and you'll see why here soon. We have Manhattan After the Clash, Cherry Bomb Unimpressed, Lamont Mocking. We've got a foil Haven. Oh, wow. We pulled 5 epics in this. I was only expecting 4. We have Oppressor to Liberator. This is a 2-cost, 2-white specified, a basic action. If your contender is Clarity, draw a card for each card you have put at the bottom of your deck this turn. Target Clash card gets +0/+4 until the start of your next turn. So this is really good to put on a card you're going to try to obstruct with, and then you get to draw cards if you put a bunch of cards at the bottom of your deck. Lots of really good stuff coming out of this this booster box here. Shadowlight Chasing Shadows, Torque Enraged Alpha. We have another Magnate Breaking Through, a foil Discarded Mob, and then we have another epic here, Discharge to Recharge. This is a 2-cost, 2-blue specified quick action. Counter attack, ready target Clash card with an initial attack power of 3 or less and put a streak counter on it. If your contender is Mean Streak, that card gets super speed until the end of turn. So if you attack with something that has 3 or less power, and then on your opponent's turn or on the PvE turn, if it attacks into you, you can counter attack this to be able to ready your Clash card, put a streak counter on it, and then give it super speed, which means it defeats, it'll deal its damage before the striking card does and that potentially could end up eliminating it, which is very good for Mean Streak decks. That's what Mean Streak wants to do. We have another Lin locked in, discarded mob. We have a Scrapyard. We have a foil Cherry Bomb, Living Detonator, and then a foil Fear Eater, which is pretty good here. Getting close to the end of this box. Avenging Guy with Cosplay. We have a Weber Firing, Shadowlight ready for action. I've been putting cards in the wrong slots on certain areas. This is what I get for trying to do things while I'm actually opening stuff. Cherry Bomb Unimpressed foil and a Streaks Assembling foil. I'll have to set aside a bunch of these foils because I am getting a lot of them. So that way I can kind of make a play set of foils for myself and then figure out what I'm going to do when ClashCon shows up at the end of October. Streak counter, or streak token, excuse me. Cherry Bomb Unimpressed. We've got Paul. We've got a foil Manhattan, and we have a foil Magnate. Oh, I need 3 more of those. I have 7 more boxes to go through, so hopefully we can get that play set of foils for that card. Dr. Sommers. We have another Magnate, so I'm pretty sure I have the full play set there. Fear Eater, foil Torque Enraged, and foil Scrapyard. Cherry Bomb Living Detonator, Torque Enraged Alpha, Ramirez, foil Shadowlight Chasing Shadows, and foil Xiaoling Searching. I'm curious if that Xiaoling is going to be super interesting for the Xiaoling deck, or if that deck doesn't necessarily care too much about trying to counter the ambush cards. It's good for PvE. If you're running PvE with Xiaoling, you're good, but otherwise, you don't really know what you're doing. Manhattan, Weber, Lamont, foil Avenging Guy, and a foil Haven. So there we go. This box actually was pretty good. I definitely would love to, I would love to get a playset of all of these epics, and I potentially could, but getting the Mean Streak Epic, the Clarity Epic, the Mean Streak IR, the Moxie Epic, the Torque Epic, and the Magnate Epic, along with the Epic Torque Clash card, we're in pretty good there. So we're gonna set those aside, and we're gonna grab box number 2. This video might go a little long. Who entirely knows? Throw the case that way. What I should probably do is, after this box, pause, cut open all the other boxes, and then go through and do this, because a lot of my time is being taken up with cutting the strip on this. But we're gonna just cut through here. We're not really concerned about rares. We're just concerned about the last 2 cards. We got Avenging Guy, we've got a Haven, we've got a Shadowlight, we've got a foil Lin locked in, then we have a foil Weber Firing. The fact that these only have 5 cards in them is also kind of a limiting factor in terms of trying to actually like open them. We got a Streak, we got a Cherry Bomb, we got a Paul, we got a foil Discarded Mob, and a foil Streaks Assembling. I'm glad that there's 2 foils per pack. It means that foils shouldn't be terrible to get. So I'll have to hit up the vendors at ClashCon. Dr. Sommers, Discarded Mob, Fear Eater. We got a foil Streak. We got a foil Magnate. Need 2 more of those. I'm very interested to see how this Magnate plan goes, and if it actually ends up working pretty well in Indomitable Will or not. Or if we try to do that with Magnate Awakened. Cherry Bomb, Torque, Ramirez, foil Cherry Bomb. Ooh, interesting. There's a, oh no, okay, that's on the other cards. Never mind. Foil Cherry Bomb and a foil Scrapyard. I really like the art on this Warcry. Not necessarily specifically because it's Kyle, who is an incredible artist in both of the games, all of the games he does art for, but it's just a cool looking face. Cherry Bomb, Streaks Assembling. We got another foil Cherry Bomb, and we have another foil Xiaoling. We're losing our top heavy status from the previous box. Manhattan After the Clash, Weber Firing, Lamont, foil Dr. Sommers, and a foil Torque Enraged Alpha. Lin locked in, Torque, Scrapyard, foil Manhattan, and here we go, Torsion to Absorption. So that's our first epic of the box. It's a good epic to get. This should be a lot better when we do our case opening of Echoes of Eternity, which I might end up ordering more. Weber, Paul, Shadowlight, Haven. I imagine by the end of this, I'll probably have a playset of all the foil commons and uncommons, maybe the rares. Chasing Shadows, we got another Magnate, we got another Magnate, we got a foil Warcry and a Prester to Liberator Epic, which is pretty cool there. 2 of each of those. Avenging Guy, Xiaoling, Shadowlight, Lin locked in, and Paul. Paul is a rare, and that's my second foil Paul from these boxes. Dr. Sommers, Haven, Fear Eater, we got a Streak, we got a Ramirez. Ramirez was a card that helped me in multiplayer Siege of the Forgotten, so I'm not unhappy to see him. I am unhappy to see all this trash, though. Paper packs! RES! Paper packs, please. Warcry, heighten senses. Discarded mob. Streaks assembling. Foil cherry bomb, living detonator, and then a foil Lamont. Did I get just a randomly extra busted box? Is that why I pulled 6 epics in an IR? Lynn locked in, cherry bomb, scrapyard, foil Manhattan, and a foil magnate breaking through. Need 2 more of those, I believe. Streak, torque, Paul, Shadowlight, discharged into recharge. So that's our 3rd epic. I think we have like 6 or 7 packs remaining. Cherry bomb, Weber, Ramirez, Avenging Guy, another one of these torques letting it fly, which is super good. I mean, if we get all the same epics, but maybe a different IR, I would be very happy. I would be a happy guy. Sommers, Cao Ling, Fear Eater. We've got Avenging Guy, and we have another foil magnate. I think I need 1 more of those, maybe 2 more of those. Manhattan, Magnate, Lamont, Dr. Sommers, Shadowlight, Warcry, Haven, Streaks Assembling, Cao Ling, and Position to Power. We'll love to see 2 more of those across the other 6 boxes. Shadowlight, Cao Ling, Magnate, Warcry, Fear Eater. We got 1 pack left. So I think, unless this is an epic, we may have gotten a pretty busted first box, which, not complaining. I still have a second copy of at least 2 of the 3 epics I would love to see. Locked in, Discarded Mob, Scrapyard, Haven, and this one is Cao Ling Known by Demons. I pulled this in my Siege of the Forgotten box, the actual PvE kit. So this one's a 3 cost, 3 white specified. When this card deals clash damage to a contender, treat this card as having an initial resource cost of 1 greater until the start of your next turn. Trigger attack if this card is attacking for the 2nd time this turn. Draw a card. You can only play this if your contender is a rogue. This is a 4/3, and it's actually it's a little misprinted on this, which is kind of interesting. But that was our 6th epic, literally the last one in the pack. So there we go. Now I have 2 copies of these. And then Position to Power, we have the Torque, we have the Discharge, we have the Oppressor, and we have the Torsion. So we are going to actually cut this here real quick. I'm going to do some extra work into this, and then we'll come back with the case from Team Covenant. All right, in the magical world of editing, you won't see the last 30 minutes it took me to get all this stuff done. Not to specifically cut this stuff, but there was a couple things I had to do. But the reason why I actually purchased a full case from Team Covenant was because I realized initially 2 boxes probably wasn't going to be enough. Now opening stuff, I feel like 2 boxes might actually be too much. But we're here, we're cracking stuff. It's Alpha Clash, it's Spoils of the Forgotten. The reason why I wanted to actually get a full case was I wanted to get a case topper. And it was actually super cheap. Each of these boxes I think was is $50, so it was like 300 plus shipping or plus tax. Super great deal. Honestly, I think this set, it's not a good enough set by itself, but augmenting other things, super cool experience to be able to do so. But then we have this guy. So remember how I said when I pulled the IR that, spoiler, it wasn't going to be the one I would potentially be running? That's because the case topper I got was the Mean Streak boosted. No legendary in the 2 boxes I got from my champion store, but I did get this Mean Streak as my case hit for this, which is cool, case topper, whatever you want to call it. I did open the top part of all the boxes. I didn't look at any of the cards inside, so we're going to be going through this adventure together, basically blind. And what we're going to do is we're only going to be looking at the last 2 cards, the foils, effectively. So because all the other stuff is unnecessary for what we have. So we're looking at a foil Weber firing, and then we have another IR Mean Streak boosted. And because I got that as a case topper, that's why I'm going to keep getting the IR Mean Streaks. It is what it is. All right, ready? We've got another foil magnate. So I believe I need actually 1 more of these. And then we have another epic Torque letting it fly, which is fantastic. I'm putting the extra cards to be sorted later. Actually, they're probably all just straight duplicates. So let's do this. We got a Cao Ling searching. White is here. And then we have a Torsion to Absorption. I swear I didn't stack these. I've opened 3 packs and it's been 3 hits. But we're gonna just Swift here. We've got a Haven foil and a Fear Eater foil, which is pretty cool. And then I can stack actually just the regular cards here and put them in the box later. So we have another Magnate foil. Heck yeah. That puts us at the full playset. And a Streaks Assembling foil. Very nice. We love those. So we're looking at Lin Locked In foil and a Cao Ling Searching. I have a lot of extra of those, but that's because he is an uncommon. So we've got a Streak Counter foil and a Fear Eater foil. And that's from Torque Therapy. We're looking at Cherry Bomb and Haven foils. We're looking, we're looking at a Streak foil and a Soldier to Leader epic, which is good for us. Four hits in those 10 packs. I'm not trying to be sus, I swear. All right, so we've got Cherry Bomb and Paul, which is decent enough. My cards at the tops of my stacks are now just going to be foils. So we've got Lin and Shadowlight as our foils. We got the Cao Ling epic. And we got a Warcry. I'm trying to figure out the best way to just flip this. It's not really working the way I want it to. Dr. Somners and Position to Power. Excellent. One more of those and we'll have a play set and I'll be very happy. I'm already happy, but I'll be even happier. So this is probably the way to do it. First foil is Avenging Guy with Cosplay, and then we have a Magnate Breaking Through. I believe that puts me at the play set. I'm not entirely sure. I should know this already, but I don't, so I'm not paying attention. So we've got Shadowlight and Lamont. A lot of these extras in terms of foils or rares I will have available with me probably at ClashCon, so that way if people didn't get stuff, they can get stuff, and that's super nice. We got Dr. Somers, and we have Torque Enraged Alpha. We've hit 6 hits, but not 6 epics. Moving on, we have a foil Avenging Guy, and then there's the last epic there, Oppressor to Liberator. The only way this box would get any better is if we pull a legendary. Okay. So we got a Shadowlight Chasing Shadows and a Cherry Bomb. We got 2 packs left in this box. Okay. Weber, Scrapyard. We've got a Manhattan and a Ramirez. We love Ramirez. And then our last pack here comes with a Manhattan and a discarded Mob. That's okay. We did pretty good. We got another IR, and then we got one of each. So we got the Oppressor. Look at that foiling on her eyes. That's perfect. Position to Power, Cao Ling, Soldier to Leader, Torsion to Absorption, a Torque, and then an IR Mean Streak boosted, which, you know. All right, so this pile of extras goes into this pile over here, and then we have another box ready to go. Boom. We've got a Streak, and we've got Oppressor to Liberator. Clarity is a very interesting character. I like her story arc a lot. I'm excited to see how she's going to affect the Cosmic Conquest storyline. We got a Lin Locked In and a Lamonti. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. We've got a Warcry and a Ramirez. I think that might be a foil playset of Ramirez. We've got a Dr. Somers and a Paul. 2-cost Paul. It's kind of tough because the 1-cost red Pauls are a lot better. There we go. Bazoop, Ramirez. We've got a Haven, and we've got Position to Power, so I believe that completes the playset of this card, which is excellent. We take those. So we've got another Cao Ling, and we have Soldier to Leader, so we need one more of those for a playset. I think same thing for Oppressor to Liberator. It's nice to actually have, like, good cards as extras. Did I pull? Oh, look at this. This, I believe, is called Monochrome. This is spicy. Wow. I'm going to put this in this nice sleeve here. Dang, we take those. I saw the foiling and I'm like, I got Position to Power again? I really would love the IR Magnates. We got a Manhattan and a Magnate Breaking Through. That's definitely the play set for that. Dr. Somers, Torque, Breaking Through, Cherry Bomb, and Discharge to Recharge. I'm not sure if that's the play set. If it's not the playset, it's at least 3. Okay. So we've got Avenging Guy and we've got Weber. Nice. It'd be nice to have a full foil playset of the Webers. We have Lynn locked in and Haven. Lynn being a common, Haven an uncommon. I don't really need to check the rarities on a bunch of these. They just exist. We got Warcry and Torque Letting It Fly. I think that's the playset for the Torque. I don't know that you would run a full playset of that Torque. Maybe in your sideboard if you're going up against like Super Ramp Haven or Genesis. You guys don't care about those. Shadowlight, Cleansing Shadows, and then Shadowlight, Ready for Action. Good old Archie. Boom, boom. We've got Avenging Guy and Scrapyard. I definitely am going to have to take a look at Scrapyard since it's a great art, but just figuring out exactly what it does. Okay. So we got Dr. Sommers and another Sao Ling. We're running a little dry here. We've only got 5 epics and a monochrome. Shadowlights, and there's our Sao Ling. So that is I have now a playset of that as well. And that's our 6 epics out of here. So we're probably not looking at too much more out of this. We've got Manhattan and Torque. We've got Cherry Bomb and Streaks Assembling. I'm curious if Streaks Assembling is going to see play. We got another foil Magnates. Ooh, here we go. Legendary Ultimate Power Armor. So this is one of the new rivaled cards. This is a 2 cost, 1 black, 1 red specified cost. Rivaled. This card cannot be put into your resource zone, and you may not have unrivaled cards or rivaled cards with a different name in your deck. So you can either have 1 unrivaled card or up to 4 copies of the same rivaled named card in your deck. This attaches for a black or a red. It's a contender weapon. Attached contender can attack up to 5 contender weapons with different names, gets +1/+1, and trigger attack. This card gets +1 and +1, and flight until the end of the turn. The first time a contender weapon enters play on your turn, you may attach that card to your tender without playing its attach cost, which is dope. While this card is attached, when a card you control with grenade in its name would trigger while attached to an opponent's card, you may copy that trigger and choose new targets. So that's pretty good for Weber. Counter play, you may discard this card. If you do, target contender weapon you control gets safeguarded until end of turn. This card can only be attached to a Moxie or Weber contender. So while I am pretty happy that I managed to grab this, the only problem is that it's one of the rivaled, so you really need 3 more of these to have a really big power bump. But this is like the best box I've opened so far. If this is an IR, this is like the most busted box you could possibly open. We've got Discarded Mob and a Fear Eater. So no IR, but that's okay. We're no complaints whatsoever. And that's 2 boxes finished with our Ultimate Power Armor, our Sao Ling who just fell, the Torque. We've got the Discharge to Recharge. We've got the Monochrome Position of Power, the Soldier to Fortune, the regular Position of Power, and Oppressor to Liberator. So we're going to put that in the fat stack there. We've got 4 boxes left. We've managed to at least cut the time in half, how long it would take to open these. So I have my box of bulk here. So now we're going to open another box of bulk. All right, here we go. We've got Cherry Bomb and Lamonti. I could probably go all the way to just the last card, since that's the big one. Ramirez, Streak, boom. That's probably the way we're going to start doing it now. Although I do want to see both foils. So Magnates and Manhattan, Paul and Lynn. That's a lot of Lynns. Scrapyard and Warcry. Oops, Dr. Sommers and another Torque Letting It Fly. So that's our first epic of the box, and my piles are very unwieldy now. Position to Power, we love it, and a Cherry Bomb. Now I can get a playset for a regular Magnate instead of Indomitable Will. Weber Firing and Streak. Foil Streak counters are going to be pretty good just to kind of have them. I'll probably keep a playset of like 5. Torque and Lynn. It's already set. Discarded Mob and Avenging Guy. Streaks Assembling and Haven. Okay. Trying to set this up so that way my focus is the same level. So you're going to see a little bit of a blurry background, but this should always potentially work and not have to refocus. Cherry Bomb and War Cry, because I wanted to save myself a little bit of effort in editing. So here we go. Fear Eater and Cao Ling. Shadow Light. Dr. Sommers definitely have a playset of the Shadow Light, which is good. Playset of the foil Shadow Light. We've got Magnate Breaking Through. Definitely have the playset of that. And Avenging Guy. Discharge to Recharge. I believe that's the full playset for that. We've got another one of those Magnates. Love having just the foil up cards. The foils in this game are so good. Soldier to Leader. That's our playset of that. We've got a Shadow Light. Oh. Torsion to Absorption. I believe that's the playset of that. And we have Manhattan. So, you know, getting a case wasn't necessarily a bad idea of just getting playsets of the cards. I wish I could do this for a regular set. Oppressor to Liberator, I believe that's the playset for that. And we have Weber. Last pack of box number 3. Torque and Shadow Light. So easy enough there. Let me throw these packs away. Oppressor to Liberator, Torsion to Absorption, Soldier to Leader, Discharge to Recharge, Position to Power, and Torque Letting It Fly. I love the blank to blank that represents the powers of those major characters. And because we have 5 of them, one representing, I'm pretty sure that's one for each original leader: Torque, Moxie, Clarity, Mean Streak, and Magnate, giving that big support to the early leaders in the game that exist. So you gotta love it. I think we've got an epic right off the bat. Yep, Oppressor to Liberator and an Avenging Guy. I saw the foiling as I was pulling the card out of the pack. We've got a Discarded Mob and a Dr. Sommers. We've got a Shadow Light and an Avenging Guy. Haven and Shadow Light. Again, piling the same Shadow Light on top of the same Shadow Light. Streaks Assembling and Cao Ling. That's the wrong pile. Fear Eater and Magnates. Having doubles of the Magnates is not a bad thing either. We've got Cao Ling as our epic, and we have Weber. Position to Power and Torque. Actually, it's hurting my hand a little bit. Ooh, we've got the IR Lord Krung Contender. So using the Siege of the Forgotten art, that's pretty good. And then we've got a Cherry Bomb. Can't complain about that. Just need the Magnate IR now. Magnate Breaking Through. Speaking of my boy, Shadow Light. Torque Letting It Fly as our epic, and Manhattan. Discharge to Recharge. Definitely have the full set of that. Cherry Bomb. I think we're looking at one more epic out of this box. So 6 epics guaranteed is pretty interesting. Guaranteed, quote unquote. Lamonti and Streak. Weber and Cherry Bomb. Ramirez and Lynn. Torsion to Absorption. Streak. Paul and War Cry. Lots of War Cries. I mean, he's a common, so it makes sense. Torque and Lynn. 2 packs left. Cherry Bomb and War Cry. Stacking a War Cry on top of a War Cry. Last pack, we have Scrapyard. Almost said Shipyard. And Dr. Sommers. So pretty good box there, honestly. We already got our legendary, so out of the case, which is nice. We've got our Torsion, our Discharged, our Torque, our Lord Krung, our Position to Power, our Cao Ling, and our Oppressor to Liberator. So 2 more boxes. We're gonna try to fly through these as best we possibly can. Gotta put my bulk box up there. I actually should get bulk boxes. Where you can get bulk boxes is also teamcovenant.com, where they work with the UK distributor in order to be able to get those. I think they're made in Oklahoma. So that's pretty cool. We've got Weber, Avenging Guy. Bulk boxes are pretty cool product. Check out the site. The product is literally called Bulk Box. Fits in the shelving units that are behind me and is a great way of organizing your cards for stuff. We've got Streaks Assembling and Torque. Not sponsored. Although. Shadow Light and Dr. Saunders. I've been opening packs for almost an hour now. Fear Eater and Cherry Bomb. Still have to organize all of this after I'm done and then edit this whole video. We've got Magnate Breaking Through and Avenging Guy, double green. Oppressor to Liberator and Discarded Mob. I'm curious if that's going to be good with Clarity's set 5 leader, the flip. Cao Ling and Haven. Cao Ling and Shadowlight. Magnate and Warcry. Oops. Torsion to Absorption and Shadowlight. Torque Letting It Fly and Manhattan. We're just kind of going through the packs. Lamont and Cherry Bomb. Almost put the pack filler in the stack of empty packs behind me. Ramirez and Streak. Having extra foil like Weber's and Ramirez's is good because I can use them for different characters. Paul and Lynn. I could hand them off to like Dean and Weber and Moxie, both Moxies. Discarded Mob and Manhattan. Manhattan, I'm not sure, is one that I would potentially use. Who knows? Scrapyard and Warcry. We're running to the last 4 packs of the box. We're only on 4 epics. Here's our 5th one. Soldier to Leader and Cherry Bomb. Haven and Streak. Discarded to Recharged and Dr. Summers. In our last pack. Last pack magic, baby. Let's go. Selling. And then Lynn. Very nice. We'll toss this. We'll throw the spoils into there. So no real big hit here, but we've got the Discarded to Recharge, Soldier to Leader, Torque Letting It Fly, Torsion to Absorption, Cao Ling, and Oppressor to Liberator. Last final box of Spoils of the Forgotten. It's been very fun having you all with me to watch this video here, which has been, ooh, that's where that went. Which has been quite fun to be able to partake in and just get the stuff done. Haven and Manhattan. 5 card packs, pretty quick to go through. Cao Ling and Streak. Shadowlight and Cherry Bomb. I would be willing to bet of the rarest commons and uncommons, I have a full foil play set. Streaks Assembling and Magnates. Breaking Through and Streak. Fear Eater and Weber. Getting to the bottom of this pile. Here we go. Soldier to Leader and Torque Enraged Alpha. Torsion to Absorption and Cherry Bomb. Actually show you the cards I'm getting instead of just putting them directly into the piles. There we go, baby. IR Magnate Indomitable Will. Would have loved to have been able to get the box topper for this, or the case topper, but I'm super happy to have the IR and also a Discarded Mob, because that's going directly into the Indomitable Will deck to be able to play that leader. So, and there's a Position to Power right the very next pack, sandwiching in Magnate with his power. Man, if this had a Alpha Empowerment in it, which it's not going to, but if it did, woo! Oppressor to Liberator. And then Lynn locked in. We've got Cao Ling and Warcry. I think we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, one more epic. Lamont and Dr. Saunders. Ramirez and Avenging Guy. Torque and Warcry. Paul and Shadowlight. I don't know what it is about Paul and all that empty space, but the foiling on that card looks really good. Discharged to Recharged and Dr. Summers. Pretty sure that's it for hits, unless, again, we get a legendary in here. Cherry Bomb and Avenging Guy. Or a monochrome. Scrapyard and Manhattan. Last pack. We're just gonna go through this. We got a Dr. Sommers. We got a Tsao-Ling. We got a Magnate breaking through. We got a Shadow Light. And we got a discarded mob. So there we have it. The entirety of a case plus 2 boxes of the lovely set Siege of the Forgotten, Discharge to Recharge, Tsao-Ling, Oppressor to Liberator, Position to Power, Magnate Indomitable Will IR, Torsion to Absorption, and Soldier to Leader. Our stack of beautiful cards here. IRs, epics, monochromes, legendaries, lots of really cool stuff moving forward. And our case topper of the Mean Streak boosted. My microphone, not my microphone, my camera's now focusing. And now I have a ton of work to go through of getting all this set up. So I'll see you on the other side. And there you have it. Lots of fun stuff featuring alphaclash, Spoils of the Forgotten. Exciting stuff to go through. I can't wait for Echoes of Eternity. Lots of cool stuff coming with that. I'm going to try to get this video out as quickly as I can. I have a lot of time I can spend editing it. You won't see this. The time won't matter for you all, but I'm gonna spend some time tomorrow after recording, editing this, getting it all together. I don't know if you can really see that, but this is the back of the box topper, which is dope. Really wish I would have been able to get the Magnate. I might see if one of the vendors at ClashCon has one for sale and pick that up. I am prepping to spend a lot of money at ClashCon because alphaclash is a great game, and it's one that I want to support. It's people that I want to continue to meet and interact with and have a lot of fun with. You can tell there's a tone of difference between this video and some other videos you might see on my channel because alphaclash is a fun game. But that's neither here nor there. That's all we have for you today. Thank you very much for joining me. It is a long video, but I appreciate you sticking it out to the end to see all the cool stuff. I have a whole bunch of things I need to sort here to get it all taken care of and ready to go. Without any further ado, I'm going to let you all go. Remember to like this video, comment down below what your favorite poll of mine was, what legendary you would want to pull in your case, what case topper you would want to pull. I believe the options are the Mean Streak, the Krung, or the Magnate. Who you potentially would play in the PvE Gauntlet at ClashCon, October, I believe it's 22nd, that Friday. Because if you play in the PvE Gauntlet, you will get an official invite to the Pro Tour the next day. So if you're at ClashCon thinking to just do the PvE Gauntlet, join up, have some fun, and then enter into the Pro Tour the very next day with lots of cool things. I have a fun spoiler coming for you all. I believe it is Monday, the 8th of September. It's going to be exciting. Yep, Monday the 8th. Some really cool things coming with Echoes of Eternity. We still have a bunch of other previews coming before that, but hopefully you all can catch my preview when that happens. Subscribe to this alphaclash channel for all your alphaclash needs. I hope you all enjoyed this video as well as the gameplay video I was able to make. I definitely want to try to see if I can record some IRL gameplay. Maybe you guys can see some testing that I can put out before the Pro Tour happens because I have a specific idea of a deck I want to take there. I don't want to spoil too much, but maybe while the con is happening, you guys will get a gameplay video while I'm there of stuff that I've done prior to that. But anyway, that's it. I've rambled on for an already obnoxiously long video. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate each and every one of you. I will see you in the next video, and I will see you in the clash.